If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, and welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I am your host, Mr. Derek Forston. And guys, I was actually just on another forum. So I was just on TikTok and they kicked me off. So I'm assuming a lot of you guys are going to be coming over from there. If you were on the TikTok earlier, guys, on the live and it kicked you off too, let me know. Other than that, most of you guys know that we come here at 10 a.m. every Saturday. I'm a little early today, guys, because I won't be long today. So I kind of wanted to buy some of my time back. So welcome, everybody. Go ahead and put in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. And thank you guys for being early, because as you know, we're here at 10 a.m. all the time. So Miss Lachey, I appreciate that. Lachey, can you believe they ended my live because they said I was scamming people? So I never got that notice before. Now I've been kicked off because I used to say that number repeatedly. So I'm super excited that a lot of you all from that TikTok live just came on over. Again, guys, if you're completely new to us, my name is Derek Forston. I'm the owner and operator of Second Chance Housing, but I'm also the founder and thought leader of Forston Consultants, where me and my family go all over the world sharing the knowledge and understanding of what this is when we talk about independent living facilities and how to get started. So again, I'm super excited that you guys are here. And again, I'll repeat this probably 5 more times, but we're here every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. I literally just went live on TikTok earlier. They kicked me off, so I immediately wanted to come on a little earlier, just in case any of those people like Lachey was already over there, and then she could follow us here. But again, welcome everybody. Go ahead and start to share the room with other people. We're early, so you guys are kind of getting our little pre-party. But also, as you guys know, like people like Yanni and Wild Olive Wear, you guys know that even when I come, I'm here for like 2 hours, right? Today will be a little bit different. So we'll be shutting down probably about 10, 20-ish, because it got to give me time to get prepared to go to this event today. So even what today's title is kind of where I'm going today. How do we combine ILFs with community outreach, right? Because I get a lot of questions every week in which people are asking, well, Derek, when you start this, where are you getting these people from, Derek? Like, how are you actually filling these empty beds, right? How do you do what you do? So I'm literally going to an event today where a bunch of people are going to show up and they're looking for my resource, right? So this is going to be kind of like one of those. And what's kind of ironic about it, the name of my housing program, guys, is called Second Chance Housing. The name of this event today is called Second Chance Fair, right? So to where they're bringing all kinds of things such as education resources, legal aid resources, career skills resources, housing resources, health and family support. So there's a lot of times that right in your community, I don't care where you live at today, somebody's having some kind of event. You probably just don't know about it. Right. And I'll admit, guys, we went to one event that actually kind of now led to all of these other events that we're going to. And the original event, guys, was the re-entry program from the jail system. So again, no matter where you live at, guys, I would also Google and try to look for the re-entry program in your city, right? There's a lot of other programs that are behind it and a lot of other companies and resources that are attached to it. And these are the kind of people that you need to know. These are the people that are going to be calling you, blowing your phone up, asking for housing. So again, for my new people like Miss Lachey, if you're even wondering what is an ILF, Derek, well, me and my family kind of trademarked it. So we believe that that is our residence model where adults, not teenagers, not pregnant women, not women with children, not the husband and wife, not the boyfriend in the boo thing, but the single individual resident, whether that's a male or female, we're going to house that person and they must be independent. And independent for us means that they can cook their own bologna sandwich, provide and take their own medications, and prepare and provide their own transportation. So we're not driving these people around, guys. So a residence model where adults can live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. Now, Lachey, you can probably already tell that this is what I meant, but I'm going to show you way more stuff when you come here. I can only show you one picture over there. And I'm streaming in a lot of different places right now. So welcome all to my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I mean, well, not TikTok because they just banned me, I think, for 3 days. YouTube. I'm everywhere when we're doing this, guys. Clubhouse, Chatter, all of that stuff. But here is me as that social worker begging God to change my life. How many of you all has been begging God to change your life financially, your job, your circumstance? If you don't want to put it, don't say nothing. Just nod your head in your living room. But this was me as that social worker begging God to get into this. And this is what he showed me right here. Begging. And he showed me a lady that was doing this, y'all, making 41 grand a month, housing people in conditions like this. And I often tell people that if this don't break your heart, you probably on the wrong channel. Right? If this don't break your heart to find out that somebody was living your dream, because if you on this channel, this is probably your dream. Lachey, I've never met you a day in my life, but I guarantee you, if you on here and you follow me here, this is probably in your wheelhouse of being your dream. You wanted to do this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Lachey, can you imagine watching somebody live your dream and doing it the wrong way? Wild Olive Ware. Can you see that burnt up kitchen? Can you see the beds on the floor? No bed rails. And I often tell people, man, the straw that broke the camel's back is when I saw the lady sleeping in front of the kitchen stove and she was paying $750 to live there. Again, can you imagine me, Wild Olive Ware, as I'm this social worker making 28 grand a year? Jamie, I'm assuming you came over from TikTok. Thank you so much. Jamie, they shut me down over there, Jamie. I don't know what happened. The devil is a liar, though. This YouTube thing never stops. And that's why I'm here Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday for the last couple of years. Jamie, I saw a lady making 41 grand a month housing people in this burnt up kitchen. The devil is a liar. Yanni, Yanni, you've heard me say this 50 times, Yanni. You're not new to this, Yanni. If this don't break your heart, shame on you. Because most of us have dreamed to make the kind of money this lady was making. I knew I was. And the longer you hang around us, training, you're going to realize that we don't talk about money a lot, actually. As poor as I was, and boy, all us love to make money, guys, money follows ministry. Money follows mastery, and we don't have to mistreat people to get it. But again, these are the conditions that I saw. Jamie, why would we put the beds on the ground with no bed rails? Training, I often joke with people, but I tell them, if you don't got your glasses on today, those are cinder blocks that are holding that bed up. Why does the fan have to sit on a banana box? That one bed look like, it's just on the floor. Their things and their belongings are in a box. And how could you walk in my hospital with your red bottom shoes on, your Gucci purse, the best weave money can buy, fingernails always done? You know that natural stuff that you just see on people? I think they call it materialistic stuff. But guys, it lets you know people doing good in life. Driving up to my hospital with your Mercedes one day, your Escalade the next day. Jamie, I was heartbroken when I found out that this lady was doing it this way. Because see, Jamie, what you don't know is that I thought like this lady was like the creme de la creme. I respected this lady, Yanni. But when I found out that she was doing it this way, that's when I was like, oh my God. Because one thing she said to me, she said, Derek, I'll never teach you how to do this, bro. You just keep being a social worker, keep sending me these people. And one Saturday, y'all, I took a day like today and I went and go and saw what these places look like. And this is what I ran into. I was like, oh my God. And quickly my mind went to this condition to, wait a minute, she made 41 grand a month doing this? Put in the chat, if you made $41,000 a month, would that change your life a little bit? This is past the slumlord, Yanni. Slumlords are one thing, because I done seen them too. This is just actual mistreatment of people. And it's the kind of people we serve. That's what makes it worse. We serve the homeless, the displaced, the needy, the poor, the military veteran, the lady that's escaping domestic violence. How can I get my life together in this environment? Lord have mercy. This is all, and usually, guys, I'll admit, I take 2 hours to tell just this part of the story, but because my time is so short today, I won't do that. But I always have to show people where this idea came from, because Jamie, I never try to make people think I'm some genius. I barely graduated high school. Wild Olive where? My wife, Shay, tricked me to go to college. I finished that by the grace of God. Shay was like, Derek, what you gonna do with yourself, bro? She said, Derek, I don't want to outgrow you, man. Like, I know you got hustle in you, Derek. You keep a job and you always got some kind of side hustle. But Derek, what about getting educated? Now, that was just my wife. None of y'all, I'm saying, go to school. In fact, I'll be mad if y'all went to school after meeting me to do this. I teach people in a session how to do this when it took me 2 years, and I lost 60 pounds. Now, through my coaching, you stuck with me for life because I want you to be my family member through the coaching. So you never leave me during coaching. But I got a lot of people that just come to my YouTube channel and hear this and they take off running with it. Because it really ain't rocket science in terms of what it is. Now, how to do it and operate it, how to deal with people, yes. But in terms of just what this is, Lord have mercy. And a lot of y'all saying this will change your life if you made 41 grand a month. Y'all, I said the same thing. But I was so honest though. I said, God, you know what? I'm not really super greedy. Lachey, I told God, I said, hey, God, I make 28 grand a year. Can you turn that into my monthly salary? That 41 grand sounds great, but what about 28 grand a month? We ain't got to be greedy, right, Yanni? Yanni, would you be happy with 28 grand a month? Jamie, if 28 grand hit your bank account every 30 days, Jamie, would that be okay with you, Jamie? Now, if that number too small, excuse my ignorance. But most people that run into us, they just like how I came up, making about $28,000 a year, 20 to 40 grand a year. I don't meet a lot of people that make 50 and 60 and 70 and 80 and above a year. And maybe that's not my assignment. God sent me people just like I started. I met guys, and I'm not ashamed to say that. Guys, I was making 28 grand a year. And God was like, Derek, you want to help people? Let me show you a lady mistreated my people, doubling your salary a month. What you gonna do about this, Derek? Big mouth. See, God know I got a big mouth. He said, big mouth, Derek, what you gonna do about this? Derek, I'm showing you your dream through somebody that's doing it the wrong way. Lachey, I'll be honest though, I didn't recognize it. How many of y'all have ever asked God for something that he kind of gave it to you, but you didn't recognize it because you had blinders on? And blinders can be anything. Distractions, family, friends, doubt, discouragement. Guys, I prayed for this and God gave it to me, but I was blinded to it. I trained. I said, God, I want to help people. I'm crying and snotting all up. God, I want to help people. He said, Derek, I made you a social worker, bro. What are you thinking? Help these people. I said, okay. I said, God, I want to be in real estate. Everybody I know, God, that's rich and well-to-do. See how I'm not hiding what I want out of life? God, I want to help people and I want to be rich. I ain't hiding that, y'all. In the Bible, it says the poor and needy will always be among me. Biblical. In the Bible, it says, Derek, when you do unto the least of thee, God said it's like you're doing it unto me. So when I read from that, God telling me that if I do his will and help people, I can also make a bunch of money doing it. That's why, to me, this is one of the most powerfulest businesses I've ever been involved in. And guys, I got a bunch of them. I own 8 businesses, me and my wife. God is good to us. But there is no business like this one where I can do God's will, help people, be respected by the community, but also make enough money to feed my family. And that's my prayer for all of y'all. Watch this, because I told you, forget about me. I'm already in it. My prayer is that I want y'all to help people. Please, God, be respected by your community. But also, I want y'all to make enough money to feed your family. How many of you all right here? And if you just got said, Derek, I can live by that, bro. We're just not going to do it in these conditions. The devil is a liar. But tell me right now, if you say, Derek, bro, I can live by that. You say, please, God, Derek, yes. Check. Help people. Check. Be respected by the community while you're doing it. Guys, 8 years ago, I was a nobody. Because of what this housing program does today for my city and the mankind that lives in Orange County, Osceola County, in Central Florida, for me, guys, I'm a big somebody now. And it ain't because of Derek and how great I am. It's the love of God that shines through me in this housing program. Because today we make it look like this. And again, this ain't rocket science. We just removed the roaches and the rats and we got some bed rails. Does that make sense, everybody? We're not putting the beds on the ground. Even though the mattress may be gently used, the headboard gently used, those containers gently used, guys, you don't have to go and buy this stuff brand new. Jamie, we just got to present it in a nicer, to where it smells good too. You ever smelled poverty, rats and roaches? That's what it smelled like when I went into one of those places. To get a free consultation, D, if you text that phrase more info that's scrolling right now at the bottom of that screen, just text more info to that phone number. It'll give you a webinar. You watch it, it puts you on the phone with me after that. Very simple. Our process is real simple. You watch our webinar, book the call, which my team will probably send you the link to even to book it because they'll see how you've watched it. And that puts you on the call with me as fast as Monday morning. Very simple. But I'm going to answer every question y'all got from now to 10:20. At 10:20, I'm gone because I got to go to an event today to go network. Now, I'll admit, I rarely do these on Saturdays. Trust me, I'm telling my wife today, babe, don't schedule me for another Saturday now. I'm good on that. I like to pour into people. I'm here for 2 hours usually on Saturdays. I'm going to be cut super short because of this event. Now, for me, that's usually Monday through Friday. But every now and again, guys, but how do I fill these empty beds? By going to these events, meeting people. Nobody. I live with the mentality that don't nobody know you, Derek. Go out and tell them who you are and what you do. And watch this. I don't care where you live at. Affordable housing in your city is a problem, and you can be the answer. And again, if you just joined us, these are called independent living facilities where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. As long as you're 18 years and older, you can live in this place. My favorite population, though, me and what my community calls for, is the military veteran and the elderly adult. Just happens to be my 2 favorite. But you can house elderly adults, working individuals, teenagers aging from the foster care system, even though they're 18. Guys, there's so many different genres or people that you can house in this. But the most key component is that this does not require a license. And I love to show people this. Well, Derek, what kind of house can I do it in? Forget about that for 2 seconds. We're more focused on the inside. That's why I always show the inside. But watch this. I got a video and a picture for every question you got. We could do it as small as this, as a 2-bed, 1 bath. It could be in a big old house that's a 7-bed, 5 bath. It can be in what most people get is that 3-bed, 2 bath. Or my favorite, it can be in a 4-bed, 2 bath. So again, this is not a 55-unit building. This is not a 60-unit. This is not even a 15-unit building. This is a regular residential property. The Lawrence family, you guys asked that. Derek, what kind of building can I? Ain't no building, it's a house. We just call them facilities because of how we named them. But this, to me, is an ILF, an independent living facility. And again, guys, it's just an environment of where adults can live and thrive. These are not group homes, y'all. I don't need a license to do this. I don't need permission from my state. I just showed y'all the lady that was making 41 grand a month doing this in rats and roaches. Why would I need a license when she was doing it in rats and roaches with no license? And watch this, y'all. I often pick on this lady because she wouldn't teach it to me. She wouldn't show it to me. But I'll admit, y'all, she gave me some of the most powerful phrases ever. She said, Derek, I don't own these houses. Guys, to me, that was the cheat code to everything I needed to know. I was like, wow, you don't own these places? And she said, Derek, I sure don't have a license. Really? Just like most of y'all here thought you had to have a license and thought you had to own the property. Call me a liar if I ain't telling the truth in the chat. Let's be active in the chat. Ask me questions. Talk to me back in this chat. How many of you all were just like me and thought you had to have a license to do this? I did too. Until I saw a lady making 41 grand a month doing it. And the first step to all my coaching, no matter what you do, because I'm a business coach just in general, we just specialize in ILFs and real estate. But the first step to all my coaching is to get an LLC or some kind of entity. Turn yourself into a business. Make sense, everybody? Prime example, my brother in the chat, D. Mitchie. What about D and Mitchie Enterprise? D and Mitchie Solutions? D and Mitchie Project? Mitchie Foundation? Forget about D. Mitchell for 2 seconds. We want to keep him out of trouble and keep all the liability off of Mr. D. Let's start an entity that protects us now. Because dummy me, y'all big brother, I didn't know that back in the day. And it cost me a $40,000 lawsuit. I can show it to you. Got the news article to prove it. Not because I was this bad guy. I didn't know what I was doing. Which is the same thing to me, ignorance. Our people fail because of ignorance. Our people perish for ignorance. That's just a lack of not knowing. That ain't some bad word. You just don't know. But that's why God put me in front of you today. I'm your new big brother now. Little brother, whatever you want to call me, nephew, whatever. I'm that now. Because most of y'all been praying for something just like this. Okay? So step 1 is to turn yourself into a business. Step 2, you got to market. If don't nobody know about this thing, how do you tell people that you're the answer to affordable housing in your city? So our coaching teaches you guys how to market this thing because we also own a digital marketing company that we give y'all with our coaching. And it's called Digital Flow Solutions. With no marketing, no website, no social media, you don't even exist. Because the moment you start talking about it, people are going to start looking at you and judging you and going to research you. If there's no website, no social media, you don't exist. If you guys research me right now, all you will find is me running my big mouth talking about this. So again, if you, prime example, right? And I'm going to answer this question in the chat. And keep the questions coming, guys. I love questions. Love it. So the way that we coach it, no townhomes and no apartments. We don't want anything to where you got to share a wall with. Notice all of these houses that I've showed you guys, none of those had anything to where I had to share it. This is a single property. And the reason, just to go deeper on the coaching, you don't know what kind of client you have until you get him or her. I don't want to get anything to where I'm sharing a wall to where I'm causing a disruption next door. Because what if I get some rowdy guys? Now, we teach you how to do the right assessment and choose the right people. But sometimes you don't know what kind of client you got until 6 weeks later. I don't want to share a wall with somebody in an apartment complex, Mr. D, and get kicked out. Also, an apartment complex, it's going to tell you that you can't do stuff like this. Now, watch this. Unless you get some kind of agreement with the apartment complex manager and you know them, that's your auntie, and you got a foot in, that's something different. But technically, my coaching, no townhouses, no duplexes, no apartment if I got to share that wall with somebody else on the other side. We want you in a single family residence. It can be big and bougie. It can be small and quaint. It can be a 3-bed, 2-bath. It can be a 4-bed, 2-bath. It can be a dadgum mobile home. We don't care what it is in terms of that, as long as I'm not sharing that wall and the inside looks something like this. Because this is the part where we tell people this is not rocket science. We just got to make it nice, you all. I just told you I saw a lady making 41 grand a month housing people in roaches. Most of y'all don't know it, but it's somebody in your city doing something just like this right now. They just don't call it this, and they're doing it wrong. You need to be the answer to, so that now they come to you for this. Don't forget, guys, it's 9:45. Our real time is every Saturday at 10 a.m. I came on early today because I'm going to be short, and I want to give them more time. So welcome everybody that just came. Welcome to people that have already been here. But this is also a room of a private suite, because watch this for my new people. There's 3 models within this one housing. There's a model that says that's a shared living environment, kind of like this, where it's going to be you and your roommate. But what happens when you get that call from that military veteran who gets $3,600 a month in veterans financial aid help? He don't want your shared room. No problem, sir. We have a private accommodation as well. Now, notice how it says private suite. Suite means, or it assumes, I got a bathroom by myself. And then we got another model that just may be a private room, right? But you still share that hallway bathroom. Here is another shared room. 2 people. You're going to have a roommate. But that shared room is that one bed, and we may call that one bed the private room because they still share the hallway bathroom with everybody else. Suite. When you hear the word suite, that's when they get their own bathroom. Make sense, everybody? But I'll admit, most people that call your phone are only going to be able to afford the shared accommodation. We offer the private stuff for that guy that says, Derek, I don't want to share no room, bro. Derek, I'm 58 years old. What I look like sharing a room, bro? Derek, I ain't shared a room since I was 16 with my brother. You hear all this kind of stuff. And my response is no problem. Okay? So once again, man, thank you all for that. You all that found me early today. Katara, you probably wondering why I'm here so early, sis. I got an event to attend today. Katara, the same thing that I taught you and you do all the time, I'm telling these people. Katara, I'm telling them how you found me 2 years ago, and now your only problem, Katara, is that you can't find real estate fast enough. And how did you fill these beds and these living rooms full of great people? You go to these events. Prime example, Katara, I'm going to put you on the complete spot. Katara, can you name in the chat 2 places or events that you've been to? I don't care when it was, last week, last month, or last year. Give the people a little insight of where do you go to meet these people? Because Katara, some of these people think that they're going to get clients by osmosis. They're going to think about it and pray about it, and they're going to fall in their lap. Faith without works is dead. So they did right by praying about it, but you can't stay at home. Even me, I love to be on this live every Saturday for 2 hours. I'm cutting it short today because I got to go to an event. Because I taught Katara just like y'all. I said, Katara, don't nobody know you. Now, some of y'all get offended by that. Katara said, okay, Derek, no problem. How can I get them to know me, Derek? She's a coachable student, family member, as I call it. Now, Katara is what we call the preferred vendor in her city. South Carolina. Told you guys about South Carolina earlier. South, North Carolina, I love y'all. I don't know what it is about y'all, but y'all listen. Y'all follow directions. Y'all do well in this. You're in a great area for real estate. I love real estate in North Carolina, Raleigh, Charlotte, Fayetteville. I can name a couple more. Columbia, South Carolina, Greensboro. Like I can name a couple areas that I love over there. Katara, tell them where are you going? I'm going to an event today called the Second Chance Fair, where providers are coming and they've invited hundreds of people. And also people that were just released from jail less than 30 days ago. How do you become the preferred vendor in your city so that people can sit in this living room? And there go Katara, health fairs. That's kind of what I'm going to today. Real estate conferences. How genius is that? Katara, because somebody gonna ask, Katara, why would you go to a real estate conference? Why did I tell you, Katara, maybe go to a real estate conference? What is your pitch when you go there, Katara? I'm gonna let you say it because they're gonna think I'm just talking. She said social worker meetings, unhoused feedings. What does that mean, y'all? She taking bologna sandwiches to the people that are in a specific area and all of them got a check. But they're homeless. She's smart. She's putting herself out in more than one place. Notice she didn't name one place today. Business owner meetups. Why would she do that? I'm going to let her tell you. Lord have mercy. Woo, I love this. Somebody said how I start this to make, call, or book. So if you're talking about with me, scrolling below on the bottom of this screen right now, our process, y'all, is super easy. I run my big mouth every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday right here on YouTube. Bring all your questions. But if you say, Derek, I won't end this, bro. I want your coaching, but I got questions before I sign up. That's you texting that phrase, more info, to that phone number. You get an immediate text message. You click on it, fill out your name, email, phone number, boom, instant download. My team, because of my system, is going to see that you watched it, and they're going to send you a automatic link to book a call with me to answer every question you have if you don't want to ask it here. But I'll admit, I love questions here. That way we can learn together. But by all means, I offer everybody a free discovery call. Does that make sense, everybody? And Katara, make sure that I got this thing scrolling. Y'all know I ain't super techie. Can y'all see that number scrolling below that says text more info? If y'all don't see it, let me know, because I'm not very techie, and sometimes I be thinking I'm showing y'all stuff and y'all don't see nothing. Of course, you can see that dining room table right now. But can you guys see that prompt about text more info? K Training, let me know if you saw that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, as I'm continuing to flip across these questions, I'm actually going to go in the chat and I want to answer a bunch of questions now, because as I said, guys, I'm usually here for hours and hours on a Saturday, but I have to go to an event. And if this event is appropriate enough, guys, I'm going to go live there and let you guys see it. So I'm banned off of TikTok for 3 days, I think. So I may try to go live from our YouTube channel if they don't mind us doing it. But let me do this, right? Let me take a quick commercial break. I'm going to go warm up my tea. And when I come back, I want to see 50 questions in the chat, because I also want to answer some questions that you guys have. But before I go, here's a question that I also want to see a response to when I come back. Have y'all been praying for something like this? Have you always wanted to get into the game of real estate, but also helping people? Do you love God, love people, and you're trying to get into real estate? Because so far, this is it. And if this is not it, how can I help you find the thing that's it? Because I'm a business coach, period. But I teach 3 days a week on the independent living facility model, which are not group homes. They're not ALFs. They're none of that stuff, right? And we're connecting with social workers, case managers, and social service providers as our funnel system. Also social media, talking about it 7 days a week. And it kind of sounds like this. Are you a military veteran? Are you an elderly adult looking for clean, affordable housing but can't afford your own apartment? Can't afford to buy a house and you don't mind shared living? Give us a call. This is exactly what we do. So that's the social media post that goes out every day. Let's take a break, put your questions in the chat, and we'll be right back. Here's a word from David and Dennis. We're still trying to figure out, guys, if I'm a twin or a triplet.
Hey, David, did you know that you can start your own housing program and it doesn't require you for you to own the property and you do not need a license? So how in the world would you do that? I was always told that you had to own the property and that there was always some kind of special license that you had to get from your city to do this. People always told me that there was lots of red tape to jump through. So you mean to tell me these are also not group homes? It's actually simple. They're called independent living facilities, and Forster Consultants actually created it. They hold the trademark for it. So I follow them religiously on Instagram at Forster Consultants as well as Facebook. And every Monday night at 6 p.m., they actually go live on YouTube at Forster Consultants, and I follow them there as well. So you mean to tell me my dream of becoming this housing provider that I've always dreamt of is closer than I realize? And again, you're telling me I don't need a license and I don't have to own the property. Absolutely. You do not have to own the property. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a CNA. And you can get started as soon as tomorrow. Click the link below for more information.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live. Thank y'all so much for being here. We super appreciate it. And thank you for everybody that logged in early. This is going to throw a lot of people off today. We usually come on every Saturday, guys, at 10 a.m. Eastern. I had to come on early today because I have an event that I will be attending for my housing program, Second Chance Housing. Of course, I'm going to take a lot of picture and video, but I desire to go live, and I want to show y'all some of these events only if it's appropriate. If I get some side eyes from people or it doesn't look appropriate, I don't want to do that. I hope it is. But I want to show you guys again, how do we fill these empty beds that we're always talking about in some of the events? So I'm going to go in the chat because I said and I promised to answer some questions. So let's see. Let me jump into the chat, and I'm gonna probably just start from the top because I'm sure that I missed some stuff from the top. So as I begin to do that, I'm gonna still have stuff on the screen. I'm gonna give a preface right now of something while I go in the chat and read. Right here on this slide, we talk about which population will you serve, and my coaching says allow the community to dictate that. Of course, you're going to pray to God and ask him, but allow the community to dictate what the need is. Meaning, what if you want to house military veterans, but the first 15 calls you get are for middle-aged women with jobs? What do? So let the community dictate it, but also let your lifestyle dictate it. Meaning, if you're very busy, you got 3 jobs, you got 2 entrepreneurship things going on in your life, you got 3 kids, you got a needy husband, your kids are involved in sports, guys, you got to be careful. Meaning with that kind of life, you can't house teenagers aging from the foster care system. Even though they're adults, because of how they've been raised and kind of how they are, they need a lot of attention, a lot of care, a lot of cuddling, so to speak, a lot of attention. So if you busy, guys, you would be doing that population more of a disservice. Right? So I tell people, allow your lifestyle, because like me, today, I'm real busy. So the people I house, they got jobs, or the elderly adults or military veterans. These people don't need me. They need for me to put a roof over their head and keep on the lights and the water and the Wi-Fi. That's my job as a housing provider, and the insurance. Because don't let me get on the whole thing about make sure that you guys have a general liability policy. Again, that was a $40,000 lawsuit for me, because I did it. No insurance, just started, no entity. That was dumb. Y'all don't do what I did. So there's some coaching there. Now I'm going straight to the chat. All right, so, and again, thank y'all so much for being here. I super appreciate that. Let's also go ahead and share this room with anybody that you know that may love this topic or love God and love people and love real estate. Let's share this room, guys. About 10 of y'all, let's share the room. So I'm coming up on my first question right here. Should I get an LLC? You should get some kind of entity. So I don't care if it's an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, or a nonprofit. My wife does this also from a nonprofit standpoint. So we always tell people to get some kind of entity. So I'll answer that one really fast. And again, guys, I'm gone today by 10:20. I have to go at 10:20, which gives me time to get dressed and go. Right? And literally all I'm doing is changing my shirt because I always go branded. Today it's just black. But 98% of the time, I'm always branded, which I will be when I go to this event. Always be a walking billboard, ladies and gentlemen. Most shirts that I have on, even this one, even though the front's all black, the back of this shirt has a QR code on it, guys, that leads people to my website for housing. Let that be an idea for somebody. Always be a walking billboard, okay? So right here, how do you find networking events? I want to build my list of interested people, but don't know how. I'm about to build a Google page. So today we've taught virtual assistants to do that for you. So with my coaching package, I give y'all a VA for free. They've been taught how to do this on their own. But let me give it to you now because I just love the coach and teach. Take your zip code, and 5 of y'all put your zip code in the chat right now. 5 people right now put their zip code in the chat. I'll even put one that I work out of. 32818. You're going to take your zip code and type into Google mental health hospital. Mental health hospital. It's going to spit out probably 30 to 40 to 50 places. Everything from hospitals, mental health hospitals, drug rehab centers, therapy centers, counseling centers. These are all the places that you're going to also go to advertise your business about who you are, but also do using that same thing, zip code, and looking for social service events near me. Simply typing social service events near me. Also, here's a big gem. A lot of the resources that come through y'all city is through your homeless shelter. They also have an email list. You need to be on it, right? Somebody type in the chat, get on my local homeless shelter email list. A lot of the funds that they'll pay you to house people, guys, we call them community funded programs. Guys, a lot of those, they're going to call you to pay for the client. This elderly adult that you see on screen, he don't have no money. That military veteran, he don't have no money. But because he met certain criteria through the hospital, they're going to pay you to house the guy. That's called a community funded program. But if you're not a business, because watch this, they don't write a check to me as Derek Forston. They write a check to me as Second Chance Housing. And if you super new to me, let me give you a pig trail. Even though my name is Second Chance Housing, you do not use the word housing in your name. Under my coaching, you won't. Because when I chose that name, I didn't know any better. I know today to be more bankable at the bank, to get more business credit, lines of credit, business credit cards, my name is real important. And banks hate real estate. So we don't choose nothing that's in a high-risk industry. I hope that makes sense to somebody. In fact, if you're under my coaching right now, put your name in the chat and watch the example of right now what you see in the chat. If you're under my coaching at Forston Consultants, put your name in the chat. I guarantee you, unless they've been taught by me 8 years ago, none of them should have the ending of housing, home, or living in their name. We end our names with either very generic, just Second Chance, or Second Chance Enterprise, Second Chance Foundation, Second Chance Group, Second Chance Project, Second Chance Incorporated. We do not use the word home, living, or housing in our name. There's some free coaching. Congratulations. That's going to save you at the bank. And one more time, the social worker don't care what you call it. She's not picky. This is only for banking purposes. 3 of y'all type in the chat, Derek, that makes sense now, bro. I never thought of it that way. That's why you got me. Okay? Next question in the chat. And also, if I'm answering your question, let me know if I'm answering it. And if I'm not, say, Derek, you missed it, bro, and then redo it. Okay? So I'm scrolling down. I need help. I already had LLC. Do you think I can get this? Yes, I do. If you think you can, I do. But if you doubt yourself, that's going to be tough. But the good thing about this, God is all over this. He's blue on our coaching. I told you our coaching is in 38 states. Nobody here right now can name an area that we're not in and you live in. Because I jokingly said there's nobody here from Montana. There's nobody here in Wyoming. Nobody here in New Mexico. Nobody here from Washington, D.C. In fact, those are my next 4 places where I want to get coaching students at. Because right now, I don't coach anybody in Washington, D.C., Wyoming. None of that. Who's going to be the first? So yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. I'm not sure. Kyle Training, Kaah. Let me know your real name in the chat. I want to shout you out. I think you can do this if you think you can, if that's your question. Okay? Next question for me. It looks like somebody's typing something personal. I don't want to read y'all personal information in the chat, so I'm going to skip that one. So you just rent out a house. Do you need permission from the owner? Absolutely. D. Mitchell, how else would I do that? Now, some people, watch this, D. Some people are going and rent this house and they won't tell the landlord what they're doing. The devil is a liar. I want the landlord to know what I'm doing. Not only do I want him to know what I'm doing, I want him to know the kind of impact that we're making in the community with his property. So we got the spiel, the verbiage, and the language of what you're supposed to say. And I'm going to give it to all y'all right now. Watch this. Instead of me being Derek Forston, I just told you 18 seconds ago, the most powerful way that you can introduce this thing to somebody is a business. Forget about Derek. Don't nobody know Derek in the city. They know second chance housing. So even to that homeowner who I'm trying to convince to rent his place, I'm not coming to him as Derek. He don't trust me anyway. But boy, he do trust and can trust second chance housing because of my website, my social media, and all of the backing that I have with what this is. That's why we tell people that your foundation is so important, because the moment you start talking about it, people are going to try to look you up and research you. And one thing about that, I love that today. Because if you Google my name, I'm going to fill up the whole front page. And all you're going to see is me running my big mouth talking about housing, affordable housing, Forster Consultants, second chance, and how we're changing lives in the community through affordable housing. So I tell people Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, you got to be on those forums every day, running your mouth about how you're saving lives through housing. Guys, that's what me and my team do every day for all 8 of my businesses. Watch this. I tell people, I don't care if you fry the best fried chicken in your city or you bake the best chocolate chip cookies. If nobody don't know about it, how would they know to come and get it from you? No different from this housing. So in this, and watch this. I'll be real honest. Many years ago, we would never tell people the verbiage of kind of what it was to say. Now it's in an ebook for $97. And it's in all of my courses that I give you. So both of my coaching packages, the DIY and the one-on-one, you get every book, every curriculum, every course, every video, all my paperwork. Guys, I spent $8,000 getting the paperwork built after my lawsuit. I give y'all that paperwork. My coaching is so unbelievable that we almost tell people that if you don't get it, I hope you feel bad about it because it's priced so low and it comes with so much. Because watch this, God gave you the dream. He put me in front of your face to make the dream become true. We work together, we do it together, and then we give God all the glory for it. Very simple. I posted that just the other day. Most people now resign from their job between 6 to 9 months of meeting me and my family. And watch this, not because I'm so great. No, it's because what this is and how it changes lives, and God is all over it. Remember, guys, no matter how many times you see me, I'm going to always say this. I'm nothing without God. But with God, most of y'all going to think I'm a genius today, and I'm not. I just saw somebody living my dream, doing it the wrong way. She was housing people in rats and roaches. Here is me as the social worker begging God to change my life, and this is what I saw. The rats, the roaches, the no pillows, the mattress on the ground. I saw this stuff. I saw the rats and the roaches and the filth, the things that would break your heart. And this girl was making $41,000 a month doing it. Got people sleeping on the kitchen stove, in front of the kitchen stove on the floor. So see how I'm so honest with you guys? I'm not very smart. The love of God is all over me though. And I love people. I love real estate. And God, not Derek. God was genius enough to say, Derek, open your eyes, bro. Everything you asking me for, Derek, I'm giving it to you. Derek, you talking about you want to help people? Here's a bunch of people being mistreated through real estate. Derek, you want to get in real estate? Derek, here's a lady making $41,000 doing what I told you to do, but you decided to keep a 9-to-5 job. God, man, guys, God picked on me, y'all. He was like, Derek, what are you doing? Why are you here at this job? I only brought you here to see what this was. Guys, I have no clue why it took me 8 years to be on that job before the light bulb came on. I was like, Lord have mercy, Derek, what are you doing here? You know how to do this, Derek, or you think you do. And guys, I'll admit, I didn't know what I was doing. I ran into a lawsuit. made the Channel 8 news in a bad way. Not because I was doing things wrong. I didn't know what I was doing, y'all, ignorant. And I made a vow to God. I said, God, if you let me get in this and it changed my life, I'll go all over the world teaching it, and I'll never take any credit. And that's what most of y'all just heard me do. Every day my prayer is, God, I decrease so that you can increase in me and through our coaching. Because I want to see people's lives change just like you did mine, God. I was making 28 grand a year. Now, monthly is nothing to see that kind of money through all of our businesses. That's pennies now. I couldn't imagine that 8 years ago. So I often ask people, can you imagine leaving your job 6 to 9 months of meeting us? Because that's kind of where it starts. You got to imagine it. How many of you all right now, can 10 of y'all put in the chat, Derek, so far from what I heard, bro, I can imagine this, bro. Like, can y'all imagine leaving your job to do what God has really called you to do? I'm going back in the chat while you guys are answering that. But can you guys imagine that? And while you're answering that, we live by this phrase. Listen very carefully. Don't procrastinate, y'all. Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. You can say ouch or you can say amen. Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. I'm going to put in the chat, if you guys text the word purpose to that same phone number, it gives the ebook, guys, of word for word of what we say to rent these properties to people. You can get this book individually or you can get it within the coaching. This book by itself and a live role play that's recorded is only $97. Text purpose to the phone number 407-326-0086. But simply is just taking your first and last name away, throw you in the background, forget about you for 2 seconds and create an entity which is now more trusted than you are. People don't trust Derek. They trust second chance housing. And that's the gem in it. Does that make sense, everybody? I'm going back in the chat. Tia, let me know how I'm doing, Tia. Am I keeping my voice down, Tia? And Tia, as you can hear, I'm a little stuffed up, okay? These sinuses in Florida are attacking me. And guys, that's a running joke if you're new to us. I usually yell and scream. I'm real loud, y'all. I'm all I'm animated, but I'm passionate. So Tia and a few other people that come here, their job is to make sure that I'm keeping my voice low. Because I do a lot of speaking, y'all, all over the place. And if I ruin my voice, I can't speak. I have to cancel stuff sometime because of my big mouth. Okay. So LaShawna said, do you all find these events on Eventbrite? No, but that's a great idea though. Eventbrite does also host things like this. So great recommendation. I'm going to give you credit for that. Miss Williams is telling you all to also look on Eventbrite for events. Katara is also telling you guys to partner with real estate investors who support our mission, letting them know that we provide guaranteed rent and we take care of their property. Katara's doing what I asked her to do a little while ago by putting in the chat. Who is she meeting? Where is she also going? How does she fill her empty beds in Orangeburg, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina? Like Katara's covering a lot of those areas now, right? And again, like Biggie Small said, started a couple years ago, it was all a dream. Now Katara's living this thing now. And she was just like most of y'all sitting on YouTube, just like this, listening. She jumped into the coaching, jumped into the masterclass, and she's here on every live that we have. Those are the people that are usually successful. This ain't rocket science, y'all. Real estate, the love of God, and people all mixed up together in a blender. Okay, I'm back in the chat. Katrina says, how can you rent a property and put other people on it without adding them to the lease? Easy. There's a lot of terms for it, Miss Katrina, but I'm going to use one term that'll make everybody kind of familiar with this, a master lease. Katrina, can you imagine me getting a master lease where Katrina White name is not even on it? It's called White Enterprise or K&W Solutions, K&W Foundation. Katrina, if you're still here, shout me out in the chat because I love to address people personally. But Katrina, to be honest with you, it's just a master lease that allows me to sublet. And I'll admit, years ago, I would never say that on a live. We're so open with our coaching to give you what this is. We want you to know. We don't want you to be in the dark. I get asked that question probably 10 times a week from different forums. They're like, Derek, how can you rent a house, bro, and put 8 people in it? Easy. Find a landlord that's struggling, that don't care what you do in the place as long as you pay the dadgum rent. That's my motto, Katara. As long as you've been in this now under my coaching, Katara, don't you look for landlords like me now that say, where's that landlord that say, Derek, I don't care what you do in here, bro. You can run a circus clown show in here. Derek, you can paint pink elephants in here. Derek, I don't care. Just pay the rent, Derek. That's the guy I'm looking for, Katrina. Not the guy that says, Katrina, what are you going to be doing here? Katrina, I raised my family here. My son was born in the 3rd bedroom, and I run a tight ship. Katrina, I ain't looking for that guy. He's emotionally tied to that place. I never said this kind of coaching on my live, and I hope y'all appreciate it. I'm looking for the guy that says, hey, Katara, I saw you on Instagram and Facebook because I did go and look you up. I also saw your website, so it looked like you know what you're doing, sis. Now, trust me, I want you to take care of my place, Katara, but sis, I don't care what you doing here. Just run me my $1,800 a month, and Katara, you can have this house for 5 years in a row. Katrina, that's the guy that I'm looking for. Is Katrina still here, or am I just talking to myself? Maybe she's gone. Does anybody else understand what I just said? And through my coaching, trust me, I'm going to guide you through it. But I'm telling you now, without you paying me a dime, that I'm looking for the guy that when you promote this thing, I'm already telling you what he gonna do. He gonna say, man, let me go and research this girl, Katara Johnson. I don't know her. He gonna Google. He gonna go to her website. He gonna go to her social media. But guess what Katara's gonna have because she's under my coaching and she listens to everything that we tell her. She gonna have the social media. She gonna be on Instagram, Facebook. She probably on TikTok. She probably on YouTube. She's posting every day because she utilizes the virtual assistant that we give her for the coaching. Katara's got a job, y'all. She's got 3 businesses and a job and a husband and a family, which means she's busy, just like most of y'all. Somebody type in the chat, I'm busy. But because she's got a virtual assistant that works for $5 an hour from the Philippines that comes from us, who takes all her phone calls, does all her social media. Lord have mercy, I'm running out of time, y'all. I'm so upset I gotta leave, y'all. I got so much more in me, and I got like 3 minutes before I have to go. I'm gonna try to rapid fire the rest of these questions, though. But am I making sense so far? And in terms of my new people, y'all are gonna get the gist of what this is when you watch that webinar. So please watch the webinar and let's have a call. We go live every Monday, Tuesday, Saturday. So the next time you'll see me anyway is Monday. Please watch the webinar by then. Friend request me on Facebook. Go there and be nosy and look at all the things that we're posting and that we're doing. Make sense, everybody? Going through the chat one more time. What's your website? Can you tell me some websites so I can see how they look, what look? My website is forstedconsultants.com. But for the housing, it's schousinginfo.com. schousinginfo.com for my housing program. Love that God gets all the glory. Sharon, that's the only way. Because without God, it's impossible. We got people in Minnesota. Big shout out to Quelly Rowland and her family. Quelly's one of my few people that's got properties in 2 places, Minnesota, and her son is in Arizona. Okay? Back in the chat. Do you keep males and females in separate homes or mixed? I do, but some people do co-ed. I don't. And when we do co-ed, they are not in the same room, ever. Bedroom 1, 2 guys. Bedroom 3, 2 women. Never mix them together. But some people do decide to go co-ed. My late brother that did this and taught it with me, he did that. He loved it. I don't. I think co-ed brings a party. Okay? Some people think co-ed brings a cohesiveness. Okay? The group class you are having for the DIY, will we get info? Yes. That email should be going out, I think, by Monday. April 23rd, 7 p.m. Anybody that purchased the DIY, and my team is also picking a few people, but anybody that and somebody bought it like this morning, they're like 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Anybody that purchased the DIY product, you guys are getting a free masterclass April 23rd, put it on your calendar, and they're going to email you every day until it happens, starting, I think, Monday, April 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. That normally costs about $1,000. I want to give it to y'all for free. So many of you all are purchasing the DIY. I want to make sure that I want to give y'all own class, and I want to go super deep on the actual HRA, because most of y'all don't understand that y'all can do the HRA today, tomorrow. There is no waiting on getting a house, right? So I'm going to spend probably out of those 2 to 3 hours, I'm going to spend probably 50 minutes easy on just HRA, because I want you to understand that. And the DIY is the do-it-yourself version of our coach. In fact, I'll spend the last 5 minutes talking about our coaching. Let me go through the chat one more time real quick. I think I got them all. Pierre, you said you typed something. Retype it for me. I want to read your question. I got that special last week. Perfect. Great job, Yanni. Dr. K says I did. I'm not even sure what she's referring to. So, now, unless she was referring to that was her that got it this morning. Somebody literally like early this morning purchased it. So congratulations to you. That package is now bigger because now you're going to get a 2 to 3 hour masterclass from me. Nobody else is invited other than DIY people. Okay. So there's 2 ways to get into our coach. Well, actually 3. The first one is free. I got something for everybody. So if I'm going to say, well, Derek, I can't afford that. No problem. And usually what I found out lately, when people say they can't afford it, they just don't see it as a priority. Yes, you can. You just don't see it as a priority to make it happen. Because if some other things happen in your life that I could name, you will find a way to make it happen. So what I found out is when most people say that they don't or can't afford it, that just means they haven't prioritized it. Because we also offer financing, third-party financing, payment plans. Like, there's no excuse. And then we also got 3 ways to get in: free, DIY, and one-on-one. Okay? So Pierre says, I'm having a problem with housing. Once a landlord find out what I'm doing, they do not want to rent to me. I'll guarantee, and I don't know you, but I'll guarantee probably 95% of it, you're using the wrong verbiage, the wrong language, and you're probably approaching the wrong people. So if I were you, Pierre, I would text that phrase purpose, PURPOSE, to that phone number scrolling below. Check out that ebook or get one of these coaching plans because it comes with it. And that book will guide you word for word on what to say. There's a lot of people, guys, I'll be just quite frank with y'all. There's a lot of people that only come to my YouTube live and they'll purchase a book or 2 and they just keep showing up and they get started like that. I always tell people, man, it just all depends on what your learning style is, guys, right? If you're somebody that want your hand held like me, because that's my style, I don't want your videos. Or not, let me not say it that way. I want your videos, but only if I can pick up the phone and call you. If I can't call you, I don't want that. So my DIY people, you're telling me that your learning style is that you can follow instruction because we're going to build your website. Remember, my team builds your website even with the DIY at $497. And Pierre, I have no clue what my schedule is like Monday. My staff runs my whole schedule. But if you've watched that webinar and you've requested a call, they can squeeze you in. It starts with the webinar. Nobody can speak to me without watching that webinar. And the only reason why we do that is because most people are asking me things that are in the webinar. I want our call to go deep. But if you just ask me 5 questions and it's all in the webinar, you've wasted your free call. And every blue moon, I'll do that for people, but it proves me right every time because they'll ask me the first 5 things are in the first probably 14 minutes of that webinar. Okay, so don't waste that free call, right? So watch the webinar, set up that call, and boom, let's do it. Or if it's just general questions, come here and ask it, right? But if it's like, Derek, I want that coaching, but I want to ask you this and this and this before I get started, that's more of a call. No problem, okay? So I think that's it. Let me bring up that last slide about the coaching, then I got to get dressed and then I'm gone. So actually, I can just talk through it. So the coaching works like this, guys. I want everybody to go to Forston Consultants. Derek, what you, and this is Joanne. Joanne is actually a sister of mine, meaning that she's a coaching client. Derek, what do you think is safe when renting a house out 1 to 2 years or longer? Joe, I'm not sure if I understand that actually. What do you think is safe when renting a house out 1 to 2 years. Oh, meaning that if you get a longer lease, I actually love those. If you know you're going to do this, Joanne, like you are, yes. I love a longer lease because it ties me into that one set price for a long term versus that number changing every year. So, Joanne, if that's what you're asking me, I love a longer lease that's more than 12 months if I know I'm going to be in that house. I know God has called me to this, right? But if you kind of, I don't know, I'm going to try it out. Don't do that. You get a 12-month lease, 6-month lease if you can, right? But if you know God has called you to this, I'll get a 3-year lease, 2-year lease, easily. Great question. Okay. So one-on-one coaching, you guys will go to forstonconsultants.com. Look at the tab that says products and services. There's only 2 choices, one-on-one, DIY. The only difference, guys, from the one-on-one to the DIY is that the DIY, you don't get me. Still with the DIY, this is why a lot of people love it. You get all my paperwork that cost me $8,000. I give it to y'all. You get access to a virtual assistant for free. You just got to pay the VA. But the training endorse that VA, that's on me for free. All the paperwork, all the documents, all my ebooks, all the curriculum, all my courses, everything built to do this, you get it. That's why it's so powerful. And we still build your website with your direction. Okay? Now, the one-on-one coaching, you get me in your back pocket. Okay? I'm your brother. You got my phone number. We got set sessions every 2 weeks. You should be meeting with me every 2 weeks for the rest of your life until you say, Derek, I got it. And then even outside of those sessions, Monday through Friday, you can call me 5 times a day, 10 times a day. Derek, I got a question. Derek, I got a question. No problem. That's our one-on-one coaching. So 5 days a week, I'm available to you from 9 to 5. Blow me up. Then we got sessions once every 2 weeks for the rest of your life. And we got payment plans. Right at checkout, guys, there's Klarna and Afterpay. Those are 2 ways that y'all can pay to kind of leverage other people's money to get into it. So again, forstonconsultants.com. I'll put it in the chat. And that / products and services, I'll kind of leave that out. So don't be super long, but forstonconsultants.com / products and services, or just click on products and services, 2 coachings. And again, depending on your learning style, guys, whether you want me to hold your hand and be stuck with me for life, or you want that DIY coaching. Now, what's cool about the DIY is April 23rd, I'm giving y'all a free masterclass. There's also an ability to upgrade for $47 a month to be inside of my one-on-one group. So the DIY people, I still give you guys a chance to upgrade. Other than that, guys, I got 3 minutes before I really have to go. I love y'all like a fat kid loves cake. I'm out of here. I pray that God blesses your life, your family, and I pray that you was praying for this, and then bam, here I go. So because I won't be here for hours today, because usually I start at 10, and we ended at around sometime 1 o'clock. Today it's not like that. So use this time to follow me on Facebook. Follow me at Forston Consultants on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe right here on YouTube. And follow me also at Derek Forston on TikTok. Okay? Because God has answered your prayer today. So I'm going to pray you guys out of here. Y'all be good. And I'll see y'all back here Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay? Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great, and we'll see you guys Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a 0 to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, you don't. You thought you had to be a nurse, you don't. You thought you had to own the property. You don't. Consider our ILF Master Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show. Hey, David, did you know that you can start your own housing program and it doesn't require you for you to own the property and you do not need a license? So how in the world would you do that? I was always told that you had to own the property and that there was always some kind of special license that you had to get from your city to do this. People always told me that there was lots of red tape to jump through. So you mean to tell me these are also not group homes? It's actually simple. They're called independent living facilities, and Forster Consultants actually created it. They hold the trademark for it. So I follow them religiously on Instagram at Forster Consultants as well as Facebook. And every Monday night at 6 p.m., they actually go live on YouTube at Forster Consultants, and I follow them there as well. So you mean to tell me my dream of becoming this housing provider that I've always dreamt of is closer than I realize? And again, you're telling me I don't need a license and I don't have to own the property. Absolutely. You do not have to own the property. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a CNA. And you can get started as soon as tomorrow. Click the link below for more information.